So not many people know this, but up until like about 2 months ago, I had a part-time job. And with that part-time job, I actually worked from home while making these videos. When you work from home, it is way too easy to spend all your time in your office working, editing, and just like living and eating and breathing and shitting YouTube or videos or photography or design. See, while I worked that part-time job here at home, I still put in full-time hours at this YouTube channel. And when I was working on Cold Island, if you haven't seen it, I suggest binge watching it, watch it like a movie, I'll link it up here. While I was working on that series, I was working in here day and night and weekends, and there was just no separation from work and my personal life. So I realized that if I wanted to do this full time, if I wanted YouTube to be a sustainable career option for me, then I needed to make some changes and I needed to be a better boss to myself. So that's what I'm doing going into 2020. Happy New Year, by the way. I forgot to wish you guys a Happy New Year. Going into this year, I'm gonna be a better boss to myself. So now that my part-time job is no more, I am officially 100% a full-time YouTuber, and all of my income comes from making these videos, which is insane to me. It's crazy. Today, in this video, the first video of 2020, I wanna share with you guys what I've learned about doing YouTube for 3 years, and hopefully this will help those of you going into 2020 wanting to start a channel or up your game or level up or post more consistently. Hopefully these tips and advice will help you grow your channel in 2020. Let's do it. I love having cream in my coffee. So good. First piece of advice / tip would be to pick an upload schedule that works with your life. Don't fall into the trap of, I have to do 4 a week or 3 a week or 1 a week or whatever. You really need to pick something that works with your schedule in order to make it sustainable. That's how I figured out how to be consistent on YouTube. Basically, when I started back in 2016, my first video took me 50 hours to edit, and that was not gonna be sustainable. I couldn't spend 50 hours editing a video, I would just never do it. So I made the commitment to putting up 1 video a week for 4 months. I was gonna try it out, see how it went, every single Sunday for 4 months, and by the end of that 4 months, making videos was a part of my schedule. It was integrated into my life. For the most part, I've done a video a week for the last 3 years, and that's how I did it. This is so much easier when you're not worried about monetizing. If you have like a part-time job or a full-time job, try doing YouTube on the side first to build your audience, build your channel, build your upload schedule, and then once your channel is large enough and you're making revenue from the channel, then I think it's okay to kind of let go of the job. Or maybe you don't need to let go of the job. Maybe YouTube is just kind of like a side hustle thing, which is totally okay too. Take a sip, adjust my ND, got some light going on here. Tip number 2 is make videos that you want to make. I see so many people saying, I don't really want to do a niche because I don't really know if I'm gonna like it, or maybe I'm gonna run out of ideas or whatever. Like honestly, this is not gonna be sustainable if you're not making videos you want to make, that you like making. When you're starting your YouTube channel or going into this year and you want to, up your game, and maybe you already have a channel, ask yourself, what do you actually like? What do you like talking about? What are you really knowledgeable about? And I find making a list of those things is really helpful. So do you like it? Do you want to pick a niche, or do you want to be nicheless? So we're kind of all over the map, and that may or may not work for some people. It's definitely harder to grow a channel that doesn't have a niche, but for us, we like it. So it's sustainable and we love making the videos that we're making. So therefore it works for us. Tip number 3, it's so easy to succumb to the couch and watch your favorite creators. And I definitely encourage you to still watch your favorite creators. However, comparison kills creativity. So if you're gonna be watching your favorite creators, don't compare your work to them. The one true way to suck the joy out of making shit. Don't compare yourself. This room is getting very tight. There's cameras to my right, there's shit to my left. Tip number 4, play the f***ing long game. Don't take on too many things at once. It's the quickest way for this not to work out. It takes time to build your audience and build up your skills as a photographer or videographer, especially if you're just starting out. It takes time to build the gear arsenal. So you had to play the long game. Start off slow, figure it all out, make your list of things that you want to do, your big ideas, all of the things that you want to do, but don't pile it all on at once. And let me give you an example of this, okay? So Chris and I, we started this YouTube channel. A little bit later, we started Pixel and Lens, our Facebook group. If you want to join that group, we'll leave the link in the description. Basically, we wanted to create a community at first where we wanted to answer people's photography questions. And then it started growing, and then we started doing challenges, and then it was less about asking us questions and more about the community asking each other questions and helping each other out. Very quickly after starting that group, we started a live series called Creatively Committed. And basically what that series was a Facebook live show, and then we also shot it, and then we'd put that video on our YouTube channel, then strip the audio out, make it into a podcast, but it was still live on the Facebook group. What ended up happening was that it wasn't sustainable. Chris and I both needed to be there to shoot the videos and to do the live show, but Chris works full-time, a separate full-time job from this YouTube channel. So A, that was difficult. B, we're doing a series where we're interviewing creators. We ended up doing 3 episodes, and then it failed. We stopped doing it because it was not sustainable. I think it's okay to have those failures and to learn from them. And I think we've learned from that failure that model didn't work for us. So now Chris and I are starting our own podcast, and we're gonna start off slow. Podcast is called Tuxedo Time. If you're watchers of this channel, you know about Tuxedo Time. So if you wanna listen to it, I'll link it in the description box. We've decided to start a podcast, but in order to make it sustainable, we're not making it a video podcast. We're not gonna have guests. It's just gonna be Chris and I starting off, and if we wanna interview guests later on down the road, we can. If we want to do a video podcast, we can. But for now, we're playing the long game. We're taking it slow, audio only. So that's what I mean when I say don't take on too much. I think it's great to have a list of things you want to do, a content strategy, a business plan. Like, how do you want the next 5 years of your content creation, your art making to go? But just don't try to do it all at once. Also, when I say play the long game, if you just started your channel and you've been uploading for a year or 2 years or 3 years and it's not really working out, your time will come. You just need to keep putting in the work. And if it's really not working, then maybe you need to pivot. And for us, it took us 2.5 years to get to 5,000 subscribers. Had we quit at 2 years when we weren't seeing any growth, we wouldn't be where we are today. So play the long game, people. I'm gonna give you tip number 5 in a different spot. And then I'm gonna tell you what we're doing in that spot. Because quite honestly, I can't even show you this room because it's actually a shit show. I'm gonna grab a few things and we're gonna head out. If you're gonna be working from a home studio, be a good boss to yourself, please. I think a reminder was I made a tweet a couple of weeks ago before Christmas, and Maddie was like, you need to be a good boss to yourself. Set some boundaries. It's so easy, as I mentioned earlier in this video, to work all day and all night and all weekend, and it just doesn't work. After Cold Island, I've decided to set some boundaries for myself, and here's kind of what I would like to do kind of going forward into 2020 to make this whole thing more sustainable and to work for me. So boundaries include at 5:30 p.m., I leave my office. I don't edit anymore that night, unless there's like a deadline and I have to. But if I'm just making normal day-to-day YouTube videos, I'm done in the office by 5:30. Weekends, no editing. I will not edit on the weekends. Rule number 2. If I don't get my video done for Sunday, you're shit out of luck. I'm taking back my weekends. And when I mean work, I mean sitting down in the office and editing or whatever, not shooting the videos, because the weekends are the only time that Chris and I can actually shoot vlogs together. Rule number 3 for me is I need to take time to be bored. And Jesse Durfoot, he made a video about this right before Christmas. I'll link it up here if you want to check it out. But sometimes your best ideas come from being bored and doing nothing. So sometimes I go for a walk and I don't listen to anything in my ears, I just walk. Or I get in the car and drive and I don't listen to anything in the car. I'm gonna take more time for myself to do that, to be bored. Okay, so you might be wondering, what the why are you down here? What is this weird space? What is that echo? What are those noises? Plaster and shit? Well, yes, we've been plastering. This is gonna be our new studio. Yes, let me show you around. All right, so we're quickly outgrowing our little room upstairs. I thought that one room would be enough for a studio and one for an office. Turns out, it's not. So we have this weird like unfinished area in the basement, and we're desperately in need of an unboxing set, a filming set, a podcast area, and a drone factory. We're also desperately in need of soundproofing this space. So I'm gonna walk you through it a little bit. So in this corner over here, podcast table, sound panels on the wall. We'll probably DIY them, I don't know. This is gonna be a big backdrop area. So we're gonna have backdrops attached to the wall in case we wanna shoot anything. This around without. Over here, we're gonna be doing a couch type setup. And then right here, we're gonna have like kind of an unboxing table top-down rig kind of scenario. So a couple of different ways to shoot. And then over here, if you watch our Instagram stories, you know that Chris took over my office with his drone building. My shutter speed is off. This whole room here is gonna be a drone factory. We're calling it drone factory. This is where we're gonna put Chris's drone building stuff. So we're gonna build him a proper workshop down here to build his drones. And so yeah, that should be exciting. Okay, so I don't know when this studio is gonna be done, so don't ask me about it. Hopefully it will be in the coming weeks. If you guys found this video helpful, if you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified when we post new videos. Happy New Year. I hope this is a fantastic year for you guys. I'm super pumped. See you on the next one. Happy New Year. Goodbye. Don't shoot when the light is changing. A full-time YouTuber. I'm a full-time YouTuber. I quit, kind of got fired. Why do I suck so bad?